We're all familiar with the story of the first Thanksgiving when the Pilgrims invited local Native Americans to share a meal with them. But we bet you didn't know Thanksgiving didn't become an annual tradition until more than 200 years later. That first Thanksgiving in 1621 wasn't just one big meal. It was a 3-day festival of eating, hunting, and other entertainments in honor of the Pilgrims' first successful harvest. The Indians killed 5 deer as gifts for the colonists. So venison was definitely on the first Thanksgiving menu. But we bet you didn't know that turkey was not. They also didn't have pumpkin pie or potatoes, which hadn't been introduced to New England yet. And while they may have eaten cranberries, they would have been served plain, not in a sauce or relish. The Pilgrims didn't plan on starting a Thanksgiving tradition. In fact, they didn't repeat the November celebration in subsequent years. In 1789, President George Washington announced the first ever national Thanksgiving holiday, which took place on Thursday, November 26th, but it didn't become an annual tradition nationwide until the 19th century. That's when an American writer named Sarah Josepha Hale, most famous for writing the nursery rhyme Mary Had a Little Lamb, was inspired by a diary of pilgrim life to recreate that first Thanksgiving feast. Beginning in 1827, Hale waged a nearly 30-year campaign to make Thanksgiving a national holiday. She also published recipes for pumpkin pie, turkey, and stuffing that probably didn't appear on the Pilgrims' plates, but would become the staples of modern Thanksgiving meals. In 1863, in the midst of the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln announced that the nation would celebrate Thanksgiving every year on the final Thursday in November. But did you know, in 1939, President Franklin D. Roosevelt decided to move the holiday up a week to give Depression-era retailers more time to make money during the pre-Christmas shopping season. The move was widely criticized, and in 1941, FDR signed a bill fixing Thanksgiving on the 4th Thursday in November, where it stays today. One of the quirkiest Thanksgiving traditions began in 1989, when President George H.W. Bush granted the first official pardon to a turkey. Every November since then, the current Oval Office occupant has given a reprieve to 1 or 2 turkeys, sending them into retirement on a farm rather than to a dinner table. Though it only began in the late 20th century, the story has become one of the more unusual chapters in the long history of Thanksgiving traditions.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here celebrating Thanksgiving with us, so welcome. Remember this phrase, be present in all things and thankful for all. Every day is so special. We have to be thankful for everything, but today is a special day. So with this phrase of Maya Angelou, we will open this academic event as an opportunity to share with students as professors as well as our speakers. And now we invite our English school director, Professor Adrian Jimenez, to address the students with his inspiring words. So Professor Adrian, if you're here to begin with this special, okay.
Good evening, dear professors, students, special guests. It's an honor for me to be here sharing with you this special moment, the celebration of Thanksgiving Day. First of all, I want to thank God for this day of sharing with you. It's important to take into account that we have passed through difficult situations. However, we have been able to go on. So congratulations. Thanks God, we are here as for a purpose. I would like to start with some words from John F. Kennedy. He says, we have to be thankful for what we have. We have to take into account those people who make a difference in our lives. We have to stop and start thinking about those who have helped us. First of all, I would like to thank my professors. I remember that when I was a student in the past, a few years ago, I'm still young, but those professors who gave me the encouragement to continue to go on. In this case, I want to mention Professor Rosamelia de Gracia. Thank you, Professor. Your words gave me motivation Sometime when I was like depressed, she gave me the encouragement. Even nowadays, she's my colleague. She's with me, helping me, giving me energy to continue. Thank you. Also, I would like to thank my professor colleague, giving me the motivation to continue working for the English department. Thank you. Some words for my students, those students that belong to the English department. You represent the hope of the English department. We have growth as a family. In the past, we were around 600 students. Now we have more than 1,000 students. Excellent. So I think that this is a great opportunity to tell you that you are the energy of the English department. Anytime I see those students, like the motivation, the goals that they have when they share with me all their dreams, I feel motivated to give my best to help them to see if they accomplish their goals. I'm sure that you can do it. Thank you, everybody. So remember that we are here as members of a family. Also, I would like to thank the administration, Professor Romero Garcia, Lady Anna Hills, Professor Gloria Ejo. She was my teacher, now my colleague, and now she's with me working in the administration. So I've had the opportunity to share with her everything. So she has given me all their knowledge and everything, and love. This is important, love. So a moment of gratitude for those who have helped me, and for you students who have given the support and have been there, that you believe in the English department. I'm sure that we are going to do the best. The professors are going to do the best to help you to accomplish your goals. Happy Thanksgiving Day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Jimenez. We adhere to your words of encouragement. And as you said, we are the energy or the motor that moves the English department. We are really happy to be here to share among all the students and the professors, because as you said, we are together a family. So we are here to thanks, to be grateful, to be happy. So let's continue with this activity. Now I will ask to our next speakers to be prepared, and I will introduce them. Linda Margarita Reyes is graduated from the East Carolina University with a BS in Nutrition Science. She is currently working for Every Nation, a global organization that focuses on campus outreach and empowering students from the program Life. And also, she will be accompanied by Bianca Christian Izon, graduated from East Carolina University with a BS in Public Health and a BA in Hispanic Studies. She has done medical clinics in Latin America since 2013 and has trained university students to serve overseas at risk communities. So Bianca and Linda, welcome, and you can continue with your part of this activity.
Hi, everyone. Again, thank you so much. Thank you for the introduction, everyone. So we're so happy to be here. And before we jump into this program, we want to thank Panama University and the English department for inviting us to share about our culture with you all tonight, and especially a holiday that means so much to us.
Yes, we are so grateful to be here. This is the second event that we've done with the University of Panama, and it's been fun. You guys know how to have fun. We can feel your love through the Zoom screen. And we're just excited to be here again and excited to see these students in the English department. We have something fun prepared for you guys tonight.
We feel like we're a part of the English community here in the University of Panama. We feel so welcome and loved by you guys.
Yeah, so thank you again. And thank you for all the professors that are here, the ones that we know and the ones that we have yet to meet. Thank you for inviting us again. So recently, we had the honor of working hand in hand with the humanities department with Dr. Rasuri Palacios and other distinguished professors there to start an English club starting in January. So we're super excited about that. We hope to see the students from the English department joining our English club. The professors were thinking this will be another environment for you guys to practice your English. learn more English, and then even be exposed to different cultures from around the world, kind of like what we're doing
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, so we can't wait to start in January, and it's been great just getting to know all the students and the professors here in the humanities department, and we're excited just to be with you guys again today.
Yes, me too, Linda. Okay, chicos. So, what do you think, Linda? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's
Okay.
talk about it.
Awesome, perfect. So let's give them a really quick history, Linda.
Yeah,
quick
brief
summary
history about
of
Thanksgiving.
Okay,
Yes.
Thanksgiving, and why it's so important for us as Americans, and not just us, but people around the world. So let's get started. All right, go ahead,
Okay.
Linda.
So Thanksgiving is a national holiday in the United States, and Thanksgiving occurs every last Thursday in November, which happens to be today. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. So
Yes, in September in 1620, a tiny little ship called the Mayflower left England on its way to the New World, they called it, filled with not that many people, like 120 people, people that were leaving England seeking refuge in this new world for religious freedom. Religious freedom is why they came to the New World. But the trip back then, traveling overseas, was very, very difficult. It took them 66 days, and a lot of them didn't make it. It was very uncomfortable. There was disease. But they finally arrived on the shores of Massachusetts, where they got to work, okay? But winter hit. So unlike Panama in the US, winter can be very hard, especially if you're up north. Massachusetts, Linda, is up north. We know that.
Cold.
They get lots of snow.
Snow.
So, a lot of snow, okay? When the Pilgrims got there, they had snow, there was disease, the winter was harsh, they didn't know what to expect. They encountered a tribe of Native Americans, and despite their differences, their struggles, and all the uncomfortability that happens when a new group of people arrive on your land, they were compassionate with the Pilgrims, and they taught them how to fish and hunt, and what plants to eat, what plants not to eat, where they can find, where they can plant their corn, things like that, where the rivers are to catch fish.
Yes, and so a year later in 1621, thanks to the help of the Wampanoag tribe, which was a Native American tribe there, the colonists saw a plentiful harvest. And that caused for a great celebration, because when there's a great harvest, we're like, let's eat. So the colonists and the Native Americans put aside their cultural differences, and they shared their autumn harvest leaf, where they gave their autumn harvest feast, where they gave thanks for the plentiful harvest season and their lives, their health, and despite the past year of affliction that they had had. So after that, it became an occasional celebration, but it wasn't until 1863 that, in the midst of Civil War, that the President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed Thanksgiving Day as a national holiday to be held each November. And he did this to, once again, kind of like the beginning, to unify a nation in one of their darkest times.
Yeah, so Thanksgiving has always been about unity around a table to celebrate despite our differences as coming together. So Thanksgiving today in the US looks a little bit different, right? We're not celebrating our arrival to the new world, so to speak, but many Americans today, right now, you'll see them having Thanksgiving dinner around a table with a lot of food. I was just on the phone with my family in North Carolina, and they always have a ton of food on the table. If you go to an American home on Thanksgiving, you're more than likely going to see an NFL game on the TV or a basketball game on the TV. If you're really fit in the US in the mornings, Linda, what do? There's a 5K.
Go for a run.
You go for a run, because you got to burn some calories before you take in all the calories. And then really famous in New York City is the Macy's Day Parade on Thanksgiving. It kind of like for the Americans, it kind of gets us thinking in holiday season. That's when we're like, okay, Christmas is coming. We'll start doing our holiday shopping. So that's what Thanksgiving looks like today. So Linda, I think that's our brief history. What do you think?
Yeah, that concludes our brief history on Thanksgiving. And we all know that the US is filled with many different cultures and people from all over the world. So obviously we're not pilgrims anymore. Not a
No.
pilgrim. No one here is
Not
a pilgrim. So Thanksgiving looks different for each family nowadays. So Bianca, how does your family celebrate Thanksgiving?
Well, my family loves Thanksgiving. It's a huge holiday for us. Thanksgiving is actually one of my favorite holidays aside from the 4th of July. I love the 4th of July. That's our Independence Day in the US. But during Thanksgiving, basically all my family comes home to my brother's house. So Thanksgiving is so important to my family that I remember when my brother was buying a new house, that he was so excited because he had 2 ovens now that he can put 2 turkeys in for Thanksgiving and Christmas, that there was this big island table in the kitchen. And he's like, can you just imagine how much food we can put on this thing for Thanksgiving and Christmas? So it's that important to us. If you were to come to my home for Thanksgiving in the US, you would be welcomed with open arms by my family. My brother would probably invite you to watch a basketball game with him on the TV, or football, whatever's on the TV. My cousins and my nieces and nephews, they would invite you into the den to play board games. We have all these different board games, and we'll just be playing board games until it's time to eat. My mom and my sister would be walking around the house, the living room, making sure everybody has their food, making sure the kids are where they need to be. And then after we eat, so this is always a big event in our house on Thanksgiving. After we eat, we have to take our family picture. I actually have our picture of my family from just a few hours ago on Thanksgiving. So we all pack onto my brother's front porch. It's messy. Not everybody's smiling. Somebody's went to the bathroom and they've got to come back, but it's fun. And that's how Thanksgiving is at my family's house. And then afterwards we'll go play basketball in the driveway. You got to work off what you ate. But that's my family, Linda. So, but your family is from Guatemala, right? But you were born in the US. So our Thanksgivings look a little bit different. What does your Thanksgiving look like?
Yeah, so my family also loves Thanksgiving. My family is all from Guatemala, but living in the US, we adopted the holiday as our own because we love to give thanks to God. It's like an opportunity to thank God, and on top of that, have a lot of food and cook and have a party. Yes, sign us up. That's totally our culture. So an opportunity to get together with the whole family. We love that. And so in my family for Thanksgiving, if you were to come to my family, you would see a lot of my immediate family. They all will travel home. And sometimes my extended family will come.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
everybody.
My aunts, my uncle, my cousin, my cousin twice removed, everybody. my great grandma, all of them show up, and they're all coming because they all want to eat. And you also, our tradition is that we will make a circle and we'll go around and say what we're grateful for. And after we say what we each are grateful for this past year, then we'll say a prayer. And after we pray and give thanks to God for life, food, friends, and family, then we have a feast. We have a mixture of Hispanic food and a mixture of American food. It's like a mixture of all the foods. So we have turkey, we have arroz con gandules from more tropical. We have mac and cheese. We have pernil. I don't know if y'all know pernil. Sweet potatoes and salads. We have, my sister sent me a picture of the Thanksgiving plate this year, and it's right there. So you can see we have a lot of food. And then after the feast, we normally will play games like loteria. I don't know if y'all know what loteria is, but it's kind of like a Hispanic version of bingo maybe, and dominoes, and we'll play card games. And then sometimes we'll stay up really, really late and go Black Friday shopping to some of the stores that are nearby. But that's how my family celebrates Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's cool. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, you can see my brother is
kind of the
holding a
same,
turkey there where it's like being seasoned. Like that's how big the turkeys are, guys. And those are my cousins there. So
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool, Linda. Well, so as we can see, Thanksgiving isn't about like traditions. I mean, there is traditions, and that's what makes it fun. But because we're all so different in the US and we have so many different cultures in the US, Thanksgiving can look different for different people. But the values stay the same, right, Linda? So we were the value of gratitude and praise and unity and joy. Can you explain those for us?
Yeah. So I think what makes Thanksgiving something that's adopted worldwide is that no matter what kind of tradition, what kind of food, what kind of people there are, at the end of the day, we can all like just celebrate these values wherever you might be. So I know one of the main values we celebrate is gratitude. Gratitude for the things that we have, like the material things that we have, like food, clothes, a home, things that we can see and hold. We're thankful for the things that we have. So gratitude. And then we also recognize the value of praise, where these things come from. Understanding that maybe we don't really deserve anything good, but we have good things. And where does it come from? We can have praise for the one who has provided these things that we don't necessarily work for, like breath. Like, where does it come from? We can thank God for that life, And then the value of unity. Unity, because even though we're all different and we might all look different, we might all come from different backgrounds, we can all agree that we have one thing in common, and that's life. We can all be grateful and thankful for life. Everybody on this call is breathing and alive, and we have one thing to be thankful for, and we all have that in common, and we can be united in that, thankful for life. And then lastly, the value of joy. Like whenever you have an attitude of gratitude, naturally you begin to have the feeling of joy. When you begin to be thankful for the things that you have, the things that you don't deserve, or just grateful for life itself, you begin to experience joy. And we believe that those are the values that Thanksgiving brings and that we're reminded of when we're thankful.
Yeah, that's so good. Like, and joy and gratitude is like contagious. Like, if that's why I love Thanksgiving, and because we start saying what we're thankful for and what we're grateful for, and that's contagious, and it shifts our focus, because sometimes we can be focused on what we don't have, but when we practice gratitude and gratefulness, it shifts our focus from what we don't have, maybe what we're lacking, to what we do have and being grateful for that. And like in your home and in many homes in the US, we're grateful to God. We're thankful to God for the provision of food and friends and family, the material things, and even the immaterial things that we can't control, like our health and our life. And we know that sometimes our families are in lack, and and we've seen that in these past couple of years with the pandemic, that we've seen some very real lack in our families and in our cultures. But we know that we have a God who listens, and that we can ask him and he can provide. And so we're grateful for a holiday that reminds us of that stops us and reminds us,
Yeah, and I hope that it's not just a day to celebrate or be thankful for. I hope it's a posture that we are always grateful, and that we're always thinking of what we're grateful for. So it just happens to be one day where we can stop and actually think about it together. But I hope that it's something you always adopt as a posture in your heart, to be thankful and grateful. And so, that's what Thanksgiving is all about for us. And we're grateful that you guys have had us, and we were able to share a little bit about how it's like in our families, and to share that here in Panama. So thank you, Professor Jose, for allowing us to share tonight. And that's all we have for you guys. So happy Thanksgiving again. Thank you for
Thank you.
having us. I hope you learned something.
Something.
Okay, thanks so much, Linda, Bianca, for sharing your experience, for sharing those beautiful pictures. I'm really taking notes about your invitation to going to USA to celebrating Thanksgiving with you. So I will be
Let's go.
hopefully next year. So thank you
Yes,
so much for sharing your experience. So our next speaker has been an educator, in our faculty for 12 years. And he also been teaching in Isaiah University, Universidad Americana, and INADE. He has worked for 20 years at the Ministry of Education and served as director in the Francisco Beckman Education Center. He is Professor Orlando Correa, who will share with us about Thanksgiving experiences in Almirante Bocas del Toro. So Professor Correa, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Give me a couple minutes, just a couple minutes, please.
Okay, no problem. Let us know when you're ready. But in this case, I can continue speaking when to wait until Professor is ready. So Bianca and Linda, you share very interesting experiences. I can say by myself, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving here in Panama, but in Christmas Eve, my family, we got together, usually at my mom's house, and we prepare a dinner with turkey. It's too much food. We also prepare what we call arroz con pollo or arroz con guandú. So it's very delicious. Yeah. We prepare all of that.
Oh,
We
good.
also
Okay,
prepare the tamales. So let's give the word to Professor Orlando.
Yes, I want to, I have some PowerPoint for you. So I'd like you to give me the opportunity to share the screen.
I'll do so. Give me 1 minute.
I think it's ready now.
Ready, you can share.
Hello, Professor. Can you share your screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes. 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 Okay. Are you observing the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much again. Thanks to all of you. I listened to the word of the director of the school, a very grateful words. And yes, I'm happy to share with you some of the experiences. It's practically how in Bocas del Toro, my childhood with my grandmother, and how we celebrate this day, a very important day in history. And as I can explain, is that just as the pilgrims came to Massachusetts, they were migrants from the Caribbean. They came to Panama for the construction of the canal and the railroad, and also to work there. So not everyone in Panama got a job at the Panama Canal. So some went to the countryside. And then, well, this is where my family, my grandmother came in. They came from Jamaica, Kingston. And they established in Bocas del Toro. And they were Methodists. And I remember every Sunday, we had to walk 1 mile to go to the Methodist church. Every Sunday, that was obligatory. Every Sunday. We had Sunday school teaching for the children. And after that, the mass, preaching. And I remember that my grandmother, when it was Thanksgiving Day, we celebrate it. Thanksgiving is celebrated in those days. I don't know if they continue celebrating the same way, but it's giving thanks for the harvest and giving thanks for food. I remember it was celebrated in November, it was celebrated in January, and it was celebrated in September. So we celebrate 3 times in Bocas del Toro. And as I said before, is for giving thanks to God for shelter, food, and life, prosperity. And this is what I wanted to share with you. Also, I wanted to say the children, I remember, we had to memorize verses from the Bible. And there was a moment when all the children had to recite. Some of us sing songs, and others would recite the verses. We practice these verses at home many times, and then they call our names one by one. Each child has an opportunity to recite the verse of the Bible. And there were so many verses. Okay, this is just part of what I wanted to say, and I wanted to bring some of the poems, and so that I still remember, not all, but some of the poems that I brought for you. And some of the things that we had to do. Some of the children also had to sing. And we sing, thanking God also for the life. We sing a lot. It was a very happy time, very happy time. I don't know if they still continue doing it that way. So I wanted to bring some of the poems to share with you. Look at this one. I don't know if you're looking at. Are you seeing this one?
Yes.
Yes. It is really nice to wake up in the morning realizing that God has given me another day to live. These are some of the poems that I still remember. I still remember also a song, the Psalm 23. I did not make it on the PowerPoint, but I can recite it, some of it then for you. But I still remember that Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restored my soul for his name's sake. Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and the staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemy. Thou anoint my head with oil, my cup run over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. See, this I am 65 now, and I recite that psalm when I was 10, and I still up this time remember it. So these are the things I wanted to share with you. Really, it's a day that make us remember or make me remember my childhood very much. Here is another poem. I find joy in every day, not because life is always good, but because God is. See, so these are some of the things that I might came in my mind sometimes. Not everything is, not all the time. Things are continue good, but we know that we have a God that is with us. See, there is another one. This one, thank you for showing me that there are people like you in this world. Yes, the people really, not everyone is, there are a lot of violence in our country, there are a lot of violence around the world, but there are still good people. And those good people, I think, represent, share with others, and it's a good way of remembering God. So these are the poem, and there's another one. This one is very interesting. I don't know if you can see all of the let me see if I can fix it up. That one. See. Yes. Count on your blessings instead of your losses. Count on your joys instead of your woes. Count your friends instead of your foes. Count your smiles instead of your tears. Count your courage instead of your fears. Count your full years instead of your lean. Count your health instead of your wealth. Count on God instead of yourself. Because sometimes we want to solve situation by yourself. And it is not that way. We're supposed to have faith, just as my grandmother had a lot of faith in God. My grandmother lived more than 90 years. And in those 90 years, she never had to go to no hospital nor doctor. Never until, well, she had in her foot, she fell down, and from that one. But I remember in those more than 90 years, she don't miss one Sunday. My grandmother, not one Sunday. This is to show you the faith she had in God. So, yes, let me continue with a little more. I think now I wanted to bring also for you some of the songs for the children. So you may enjoy. Okay. Why these songs? Because we had to sing songs also. There were songs before the preaching, and there were songs that we, the children, we sung in groups. So I brought one that are singing in group. I hope you enjoy it also.
Professor, I think the audio is not releasing from your computer. We can't listen to the audio, just we can view the images.
You're not listening to the audio.
No.
No, we're just watching the video, but not listening to the audio, okay?
Oh, the audio. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let me see. Yes, really, these are some of, sorry about the interruption of the audio and so on, but these are some of the things that I wanted to share with you in this day. This is a very interesting day. There are another poem that I'm going to read for you. A poem to be thankful. And it says, be thankful that you don't already have everything you desire. Be thankful when you don't know something. Be thankful for the difficult times. Be thankful for your limitations. Be thankful for each new challenge. Be thankful for your mistakes. Be thankful when you are tired and weary. So, well, these are a few comments and information that I'm willing to give, and I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and that, well, I really try to share with you. I hope it was interesting. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you very much, Professor Correa. So inspired by the excellent work and experiences of our tonight's speakers, we have no more to say that thank you so much for sharing with us. Have a nice harvest time, and remember that we need to be thankful for what we have accomplished so far. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. My name is Yanilka Vidal. It was a pleasure to be your host tonight, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye, guys.
Happy
Thanksgiving.
everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Have a nice evening.
Happy Thanksgiving for everybody.
Thank you for being with us, Professor Gloria, our department director. She came after dinner, maybe.
Well, thank you for the activity. It was a lovely activity.
Yes, we had a nice moment, and I want to congratulate Yanilka Vidal. She was a wonderful MC. She's a student from the class of Professor Falquez, and I'm very pleased to have her here as part of the team. Congratulations, really.
Thank you for the opportunity. So I'm able to join to you whenever you want, whenever you need. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. And everybody enjoy your Thanksgiving. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.